Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to And Unity for All. Let me move my microphone again. Pretty bad about that. Okay. There we go. All right, now I'm ready. Okay, so let's talk about the first stages, overt stages of the coming crash. It happened yesterday. This has been expected for a long time. I've been talking about the crash that's coming. I'll put a link to my Facebook page about that below. So yesterday, China did what has been expected for some time. They announced that they are probably going to reduce or even stop any investment in U.S. Treasury bonds. If you don't understand just what that means, as it is, China owns more than $1.2 trillion in U.S. Treasury bonds. They used some wording that was diplomatically expedient and said that other investments are more secure. The real translation of this is that they have no confidence in the U.S. dollar. For good reason. The dollar has been dropping on international markets. It is a fiat currency, which means it is backed on nothing. The only thing giving the dollar value is resources that we don't own and a system of IOUs. That's it. That the dollar has value because we owe people money. Would you try and run your household budget that way? How long would it last? A lot longer, not as long as we've been doing this. Look how long we've been in debt. We've been in debt since 2001, continuously, and it's been rising and rising and rising. So, I've said, this is capitalism feeding on itself. And it's in the final stages. Am I against capitalism and promoting communism or absolute socialism? No. I'm a democratic socialist. But as things are, we have to move in a more socialist direction, or capitalism is going to collapse. So what are the implications of what China announced yesterday? Well, first of all, other countries and domestic investors are going to look at this, and they are going to question just how stable the dollar is. The dollar has dropped in trading against other currencies to less than 93 cents. That means the dollar that you've got in your pocket is worth 93 cents, not a dollar. The further it drops, the result is going to be inflation. That doesn't mean that they're going to raise interest rates yet, but sooner or later that's going to happen. And so when the dollar drops in value against other currencies, then when you try to buy things from other countries, that means you have to pay more. Now, they increased slightly by 0.2% the return rate on U.S. Treasury bonds. But the return is something like 3%. So that means when you combine the value on the international market with the return on U.S. Treasury bonds, you got a gap. That means that if you invest $1, you're already 4 cents in the hole. Because you got a 3% return, 3 cents on the dollar, against a value of less than 93 cents. So you got a 4 cent deficit right there. Unless the dollar rises in value, you're not going to regain that 4 cents. So you're paying money to invest money. So that is why other countries and investors are going to take a look at this. The less confidence that investors have in the U.S. dollar, the less they are going to buy U.S. Treasury bonds. It's not rocket science. Would you put money into an investment that immediately loses 4% of what you just put into it? I don't think you would. You know, you're paying somebody to loan them money. Nothing works that way. No financial system will work that way. Your household budget won't work that way. So, we're going to see a drop in investments globally in the U.S. dollar. Gold is rising. That was predicted. Who does that benefit? Not the United States. Russia produces more gold than we do. China produces more gold than we do. Together, they produce more than 3 times the amount of gold that the United States does. Add on top of that Russia is the world's top oil producer. They produce more oil than we do. So they've got the resources on oil, they've got the resources on gold. China has been working on the petro-yuan, an alternative system which displaces the petrodollar. More and more countries are signing on to that system. Nobody is under any obligation anymore to use one system. They have the right to trade in both. But that means that still the value of the petrodollar is being reduced every day. If the U.S. tries to impose a limit on that, chances are they're going to go with the petro-yuan. They're going to trade in Chinese money instead of our money. The Chinese money is backed by gold. So is the ruble. It makes sense. You want to invest in a system that is going to, with gold rising in value, you want to invest in a system that is rising in value, that is stable and backed by something. The chances of you loaning money or losing out because somebody can't pay their debts with the U.S. dollar has been shown to be a real threat. Still battling allergies. So this can also affect investments in U.S. stocks, bonds, commercial stocks and bonds. because the value of the dollar affects the value of stocks and bonds. So foreign investors, at least, are going to be taking a look at what the cascade effect is. I expect very quickly for cryptocurrency to regain its footing. It lost its footing over the holidays, but I expect it to rise rapidly. The more the dollar is shown to be unstable, people are going to be looking for something that is stable, that will rise in value. As of this morning, that's not happening, but I'm still waiting for more news of yesterday's announcement to get around. And a lot of investors in cryptocurrency are small dollar investors. You can invest any amount in cryptocurrency. You can put $20 in. Try doing that with the stock market. Stocks are sold in lots of 1,000. Currencies are sold in lots of 1,000. So you have to buy 1,000, or you have to be in some group with somebody that's making a profit at the head of that group. Put the pieces together. So this is all coming together right now. This is the first stage. The other stage that nobody's talking about is the fact that that is coming later in the year, that Saudi Arabia has held U.S. debt for 40 years. Over 40 years they've been holding U.S. Treasury certificates. Well, Saudi Arabia is not doing as well as they would like financially. They've taken a hit for the last 3-4 years, and maybe longer, with the decrease in the value of oil. So they are actually expected at this point to cash in part, possibly all, of their U.S. Treasury bonds. They're not going to reinvest it. They're going to invest it in their own country. They're trying to build their own financial markets that will also compete with the dollar. You got multiple systems in multiple countries that are trying to be established to compete with the dollar. This is like if you own a small business, you own a convenience store on a corner, and somebody else opens up another convenience store across the street, and then another country opens another convenience store on the other corner of the intersection, and somebody else opens another convenience store on the other corner of the intersection. You've got four convenience stores where you used to have the only one in the neighborhood. What is the logical result? We keep on hearing on mainstream media how well the stock market is doing. I'll tell you again. Look at when the stock market rises, does your paycheck increase? Chances are, if you're not a stockbroker, it's not helping you. You might see some increase in your retirement account, but look at 2008 and what happened to people then. If the stock market crashes, so does your retirement account. All of your investments. If the stock market is wiped out and you have money in it, you're wiped out. Look at all the people in 2008, 2009 that thought they were retired and had to go back to work. Look at what that does to the job market and the unemployment rate. This is all coming together, and it's coming together very quickly. This was the first step, that it was a final wake-up call. It's something I've been talking about for years now. And here it is. It's time to wake up. Don't be spending all your money and going crazy on your credit cards. You need to get rid of that stuff. Put your investments in something stable. So, I just had to put this out there that it is coming. Alright, I'm going to have to get to my real job here. And so, please share this video. Please hit like and subscribe. If you can, please become a patron on Patreon. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.